Alright. First day of summer has come to an end. Let's sleep. I am exhausted. I'm sure my character is too after all that running around all day. Right! We couldn't get Alicia to make it not rain today. Because yesterday was a holiday. Well, don't have to water the crops, so that's whatevs. Can't get a prediction from Alicia because she doesn't like to do her predictions when she's inside. So might as well just see if there are any quests to do and take care of a couple of fields as well. See about see about potentially harvesting the strawberries and taking care of aminals. Animal harvesting day! Ugh. I'm just exhausted because I got like a notice to enter last night. Not last night. The day before yesterday. I got a notice to enter that they're changing the locks all over the building, blah blah blah, and it's like, why are they changing the locks? No explanation given, but sometime between 8:30 and 4:30 p.m., 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. yesterday, the person was supposed to come by to change the locks on apparently every single apartment in the building. Except they didn't come in yesterday. So I looked through the notes again. It's like, oh yeah, it should start somewhere between 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. and proceed for multiple days. So, at least during the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., I'm not allowed to do anything that I can't immediately leave in case someone decides, hey, I want to be at your apartment changing your locks right now. And note, I'm usually not awake until 1 or 2 p.m. That's just how it goes. And then, of course, people are like, Wang, you should change your schedule to match up with the blah, blah, blah. My schedule is fine. Until something like this that forces the schedule to shift. I got less than 1 day's notice that someone is going to be in here. Place is clean enough, whatever. I had to take out the trash. That was annoying because the trash bag ripped, but I was already outside, so I was able to take pretty much everything out when I was... Anyway. It's fine enough, at least. But yeah, so sometime in the next multiple days, someone's just going to go, gong, gong, gong! And if I don't answer it within probably a minute, they're just going to barge in, because surely they would. And it's like, gee golly, I'm glad I don't have, like, a job to go to. Could you imagine that? I'll just lower the volume. Just leave it. Like, could you imagine if I had, like, a job to go to, so I just, you know, leave for work, because I can't just take multiple days in a row off with 0 notice. Well, fine, whatever. Yeah, I can't just take multiple days in a row off with literally 0 notice, because, like, of course I can't. Or, of course I wouldn't be able to. So just leave, not knowing if I'd be able to get back into my apartment that evening. And I know that there are people who live here who do in fact have jobs. I know for a fact that that is indeed the case. So again, they're either supposed to take multiple days off work just in case the person actually shows up to change the locks, or get locked out and essentially evicted from their home. Those are the options. I have half a mind to just go through the whole building, find the person who's supposed to be changing locks, and watch their pattern, and run the numbers to get something of an idea of when they're supposed to be here. Because changing a lock takes a bit of time. I remember watching it be done before, and it takes a while. And one could think okay, well, maybe there's the chance that they already have all of the changed locks, and they'll just take the lock out of the door, put the new lock in. Instead of sitting there in the hallway or something with the door wide open, adjusting the lock for an hour for each door. But even unscrewing the lock, screwing it back in, that could still take 10 minutes, I want to say. 10 minutes, given some leniency to, go from one apartment to the other, potentially go up or down a flight of stairs, whatever. 5 to 10 minutes, really. So if it is 10 minutes per lock, that ant is just spinning around. That'd be about 6 locks per hour. This building has over 100 total apartments. And I will note that the notice that I got specifically said residents of not just my building, but all 3 buildings. Because I'm in a block of 3 apartments, essentially, and whew. So today is Monday, which means that the hot spring is closed today. Yeah. I don't want to do anything that I can't immediately stop. I don't want to take a shower during these 8 hours of the day because, hey, if the person happens to come by, I can't immediately jump out of the shower. Instead, they're going to, just come into the room, just come into the apartment, and I'll just be, there taking a shower with some stranger coming in. That's bad. Yes, I am certain that if the person comes to try to change the lock and I don't react immediately, they're just going to, open up the door and start changing the lock immediately anyway. Because I don't trust any of them. Oh, that could factor into the 10-minute time thing. Maybe they'll knock, give it 5 minutes to open or something. Isn't? Yeah. hey, she said she loves us. Oh yeah, 8-7, wow. Yeah, and the reason I'm not recording this with Izza is because I figure of all the things I do, recording is the easiest thing I could just put down on a whim, because I can just, you know, pause the game and pause the recording and just get up, open door, blah blah blah, do stuff. It's the easiest of the things to just stop. That doesn't count as work. That doesn't work. Archer. Work archer. This one's an actual work. At least I think this one's an actual work. Wee. I haven't been sleeping well because, like, I'm used to staying up till about at least 4 in the morning. But now it's like, no, get to sleep by 2, wake up at like 8. Of course, trying to get to sleep at 2 doesn't actually work. Oh? Eight, 7.
Morning.
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 I could open a general store, she says, in the general store.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oof. Will I accept this? No. Just so many requests all of a sudden. Do. Looks like raises max HP or something, doesn't it? I could just take it myself. But that would disappoint Ray and fail the quest, and then I could probably talk to him and get a new one anyway. He's literally in the other room. He could probably hear us.
Morning.
Oh gosh, flipping hot rain is. It's like hot and it's all like sweaty and sticky and stuff, and there's rain, but the rain doesn't help with the heat. Oh gosh, hot rain. You would think, oh yeah, that's like taking a shower. That's all nice. It's like, no. It's really, really bad. It's also, at least where I live, incredibly rare. So that's fortunate. Yep, meant to the B button. Yeah. Cillian Campy I also mix up from time to time. Much like, you know, Ray and Roy. It's not so bad. It could be Jake and Jock. There's plenty of elves that have married humans. That's how half-elves are born. In D&D, in one of the Dragon magazines, Dragon magazines, doesn't matter. There's a flaw for half-elves only that's called quarter-elf. It's like a half-elf and a human had a baby. So you lose some of your elf stuff, but you do gain extra feet. Because humans get a bonus feat at character creation. But also it's a flaw that just gives you an extra feat. Yeah. It's really interesting though, as far as flies go, it really doesn't take away as much as most flies seem to do. Why is it so flippin' hot? Ugh. Wait, I think that me talking with Jake improved his friendliness enough. Wait. No? Whatever. Me talking with Jake, and then he puts up a message for us on the message board. Yeah, Rune Factory has a long history of... Go to the island, bring back a bronze bracelet. As one does. Gosh, and to think that I thought that today I'd just be doing a bunch of these. I can't get proper. Just frustrating. Have to keep myself in a state of preparation for 8 hours a day. Because at any given moment, I could be expected to just, you know, open the door, blah, blah, blah. At any time. So yeah, can't go and play Magic because yeah, it's one thing if I'm just waiting on a delivery and it's like, oh, gotta be right back, it'll just take a minute, sorry y'all. But this, again, if it does take like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if they are, you know, not just replacing the lock, but actually changing the locks. Like, changing the locks themselves and altering the locks? I think that'd be a bad term for it. If they are actually, like, altering the locks. I see a bronze bracelet. We should put the stuff with things. Yep, as far away from the entrance as possible. Whee! I have to admit, I really do kind of want to do another, like, challenge run of Dark Chronicle. Only thing I could think of would be minimum dungeon entry. Which, yeah, it worked out well for Dark Cloud, but for Dark Chronicle, that would be really, really, really weird to try to do. I'll let you have your reward. A bronze bangle.
Good afternoon.
No, right. Julie is... Right. I mixed up Julie and Natalie. It's like flipping 2:30 p.m. I shouldn't be so... I shouldn't still be so tired. I just am. Woke up at 10 today because my alarm didn't wake me up. Oh, God.
Hello there!
Get into a pirate hat. Okay. Because, like, yeah, that's traditionally the proper way to use a knife and a fork, unless you are left-handed. Which, I decided to go with the assumption, since it only gave the two answers, that one of them would be correct. Because when it comes to table manners, some aspects of table manners can be really, really tricky. I think that's like a gag in some things. I just saw bread? Question mark. First thing you do when tasting wine. I've never had wine. Wait, it's supposed to shine a light? I have never had wine in my life. And I've never been to a wine tasting party, so all I know of wine tasting parties is what I've seen on like TV, and I always just like move the glass around a little bit. It's like, oh yes, that has a nice aroma to it. Hold on, Cammy. 5 questions. Yeah, I was debating between doing some VR, which technically I can stop at a moment's notice, or just recording this, and I decide to record this. I don't think we can do the Julia one today, unless we can manage to catch her outside of the bathhouse. Jackalope. Dorothy wants to take a walk with you. Whatever, I have to wait till tomorrow for the Julia one anyway. And I think that that's all of my stuff that I can do. I guess I could also plant this corn seed somewhere. Where does it want to go? Alright. Alrighty. See ya, whatever. I decided to just record this, get it done and out of the way, because Azura and I will also have to go and record more stuff on our own anyway, because our rebuild series, we actually reached the end of all the episodes that we have already ready, so we have to record more of that. You spin, little bug. It's getting the recordings and making sure to get all the recordings and having them all be done on a quick enough, fast enough, and regular enough basis is okay, I suppose. I do want to try getting a nice series with some VR game. Try to get recordings done with that. Just don't know what to record on that. I would have recorded the Until You Fall game if I had considered about it when I first started playing it, and like I don't want to start a new game just for that, and it's like, okay, well, other than trying to do challenge runs, there's no real point to recording it anymore. And I've played enough of the game that I've need to get an extra tool, that I've started to get bored of it as well. Like, I know all the stuff for it. I know everything in it. I know what to expect. Yeah, it's nice and all, but I know what to expect from it. Though it is really fun taking that giant sword and just dashing into enemies and one-shotting them, but it's like... But if I use that sword, its special ability is pretty pointless unless I also take the giant hammer as a secondary weapon, and if I'm taking the giant hammer as a secondary weapon, its secondary ability is generally pointless. I can like somewhat combine the abilities occasionally, but also just tend to not use either of them. Whereas if I use Wind Sword and like the crystal, their abilities like mesh super well together, and like I could go on a whole tirade? Not exactly a rant. I could go on a whole thing about it. Because, like, the Wind Sword has a special ability of when you break enemies out of stasis, you deal health damage to them that bypasses their defensive values. So it's, like, really, really useful to do that, and... Yeah, and its special ability launches 3 vortexes in front of you that if an enemy walks into it, it gets caught in stasis. So the idea is you use the special ability, lure enemy into the vortexes, get them caught in stasis, attack them, deal extra damage. And the gem weapon has the same special ability of launching vortexes. And of course, during a run, the special ability can be upgraded. And that special ability gets upgraded to deal guard damage and then also health damage to any enemy stuck in the vortex. So a few upgrades to that, as well as, and the gem, the crystal weapon has the add ability of, because it's, a hand-based weapon, you can't block with it, it does basically no damage, but it doubles the speed of both weapons' special attacks. So if you choose to use it, along with the Wind Sword, both of their specials recharge twice as fast, so you can use them much more often. So the whole thing about the run with that pairing is get stuff to boost up both of their specials, and get stuff to make their specials charge faster. It literally gets to the point with a decent run. Use the sword, launch the specials, get the vortexes, lead enemy into vortex, hit it, deal a nice chunk of health damage and guard damage to it. Lead into the next vortex, hit it again. It's usually... And of course, when you hit it out of stasis, you can usually get a few extra hits in for free. So usually by the second stasis, you can also break the guard, just flat out attack it a few times to deal some flat out health damage regardless. Then lead into the third stasis. You may or may not be able to combo it after that, but it's usually dead by then, because triple stasis plus a combo is enough for basically every enemy other than the boss itself, but even the boss itself, that's like still half of its health. And by the time you've done all of that, the sword can have completely refilled its supercharge. So you do all of that to deal with one, elite or sub-boss enemy or whatever. And then it's just like, alright, you're cool. Alright, now you can go do that again. And then the only things that you have to worry about, because, like, if you do get surrounded by enemies, you can, you know, launch some vortexes, not break them out of stasis immediately, and just go and deal with other enemies. Like those spellcasters that, like, throw spells at you. Just freeze whatever's nearby, do some dashes, one little combo gets rid of the regular or the elite spellcaster, and boom, everything is fine. And I've managed to get to the point where I've upgraded the sword enough, where after doing a combo with it, I inflict stasis on the enemy. So yeah, launch vortex, enemy gets trapped, hit them a few more times, break their guard, do a combo on them, they get into stasis, hit them out of stasis, deal even more health damage. That's not enough to kill them, cool, lure them to another vortex. And then of course there was that one, the one sword that I had access to at one point. Me. Yeah, what is that? Whee! That thing's like whenever you finish a combo on an enemy, inflict, like, soul burn on them that, you know, deals a bit of damage over time. Useful ability. Because if your combo doesn't quite kill them, it deals an extra, what, like 15 damage or something? Oh, this is the summertime music. Also, one big problem that I noticed, because I did a recording of one particular VR game, I made sure to keep in mind, like, not to be, you know, panting when I was playing. But that's basically all you can hear in the recording. Like, it's loud, it's almost louder than my voice when trying to talk. You can just hear my breathing. Like, I'm there actively talking, and you can still hear, like, I don't know if, like, the only thing that could be, like, that has to be a bug. How can I be panting for breath while I'm talking? That doesn't add up. I was like, maybe a bit more. Like, that's kind of impossible. How could that possibly be? I don't know. That's why I'm asking. So, I don't know. Maybe move the microphone, do something about that. There is one particular game that I got, one I actually had to pay for, a Township Tale, that's made with multiplayer in mind. But I'm not too sure how good of a game it is, considering I couldn't even get through the tutorial. One of the first things that you're supposed to do in the tutorial is pick up a stick from off the ground, and pick up a rock from off the ground and craft them together to make an axe. Or, you know, make something at least. Craft together a stick and a rock. That's one of the first things you have to do. I found lots of sticks on the ground, and I found a bunch of rocks that were embedded in the ground that I wasn't allowed to pick up. I really tried. I used the sticks, trying to leverage them out. Nope, nothing. Literally nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So, yeah, I tried. Failed, failed, failed. Also, yeah. Distracted. So yeah, I tried to do it. And it's like, no, maybe there's rocks somewhere else. No, they're supposed to be here. No. Look around. No, 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 no. Notably, there was even some, like, dry grass sticking out of the ground, and I tried to pick that up as well. Was not allowed to pick that up either. Eventually, I decided to quit the tutorial, try a single-player world, see what I could see. Lo and behold, at the spawn of the single-player world, there were just rocks that were just sitting there. Sitting there doing nothing. And I was able to pick those up. I couldn't, unfortunately, craft them with a stick because you have to unlock the crafting building. Unlike what it tries to promise, it isn't quite so free and open. You have your world, and like all of the important buildings are already placed, you just have to put in resources to get them to a state where you are allowed to use them. I was hoping for more along the lines of like a Minecraft thing where you could make buildings or, yeah, you know, one of those games where like, yeah, sure, all like every, say, workshop looks the same, but you can still like at least designate where it goes. Nope. And you need like obsessive amounts of materials for that too. Basically everything needs like 50 lumber. And sure, you can find lumber in piles here and there. So essentially you have to walk through the entire map, pick up every piece of lumber you find, just to try to make one part of one building rebuilt. Oh, why don't you just make an axe and chop down a tree? In fact, you can get an axe. You can find a rusty axe just sitting around, but I could not cut down any of the trees that I found. I also couldn't cut down a tree in the tutorial either. I found, because in the tutorial there's things like, hey, grab one of these axes, cut down a tree. Yeah, no, I couldn't do that. At least in the tutorial, when I tried to cut down a tree, it's like, I swing the axe, it's like, thunk against the tree. But no matter how much, like, force I put into chop the tree, or how many times I attacked the tree, nothing changed about the tree. And yes, I did try multiple different trees. In the area that it says, chop down one of these trees, I couldn't chop down any of the trees. And in single player, I swing the axe at the trees and they don't even do the thunk. Just kind of like, doesn't actually do anything at all. So it's like, well, is there a point? Is there like a point to even trying to do this? I mean, apparently not. Apparently there is no point to trying. I have a theory that I want to test about here. So yeah, apparently So, yeah. I need to go back into that game and test a whole bunch more stuff. It is annoying they basically have to either A, bend down to the ground to keep picking stuff up over and 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 over again, or B, set your height down so you're about 2 feet tall, so you still have to bend down a bit to pick up stuff, but you don't have to bend down very far. It's just low enough where you have to just bend down a little bit. So, yeah. Like, it had... But then it's like, okay, well, what's the point of, like, making tools and stuff? Like, what's the goal here? Gather enough resources to make these buildings work. Okay, and then what? Gather more resources to build better tools. Okay, then what? Break down stuff like ore and trees faster to get more resources to build more tools. Okay, then what? Like, again, if it's like Minecraft VR, I could probably really get into, especially if I got a mod pack working in there. Like, heck yes, I would absolutely 100% do a VR version of, was it Sky Factory? Doesn't even matter which version of Sky Factory, I would just do some version of whatever version of Sky Factory. Speaking of which, because, like, I've played all of the Sky Factory mod packs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Put a lot of time into each of them. And I think that I still somewhere have a map for Sky Factory 2 that I really want to show off. Because it's so absolutely stupid, and yes, I am going to completely change the topic of conversation here. Because my Sky Factory 2 map, Sky Factory, for those who don't know, essentially plays in waves. When you start off the game, you start off with literally just a tree and a piece of dirt. And your first major, like, achievement, the first major thing to do, first important thing to do to make progression, is to make a cobblestone, or stone, I guess, generator. So for that, you need to chop down the tree to get, to get some wood to build with, build a nice platform around, get some saplings from the tree, plant more tree, get more wood. So you have to build a nice sized platform to use as your base, make a composter to compost either leaves that you can get from building a crook, or no, can you get leaves from a crook? Or throw in extra saplings, and that you can get extra dirt that way. Use extra dirt to, plant more trees so you can get leaves, saplings, and more lumber faster. And then eventually, when crooking a tree, you can get silkworms. So you have to infest one of the trees with the silkworm. Once that reaches 100% infested, you can chop all that down, or yeah, I think you can crook down those leaves. No, I think crooking the leaves just gives you an increased chance of saplings. I don't think it actually gives you leaf blocks. So then, yeah, you can then, I think, crook those leaves to get string. You can use string to make a sifter. Use sifter on some of the extra dirt that you're making from your composter. And I just heard, like, the Discord, like, sign-in button, but I'm not in a Discord chat right now. So, yeah. Use the sifter to sift the dirt to get pebbles. Craft the pebbles together to make cobblestone. Yeah. You can use cobblestone to now, say, build a better axe. And you also have to build a hammer. So you can take the cobblestone, smash it with a hammer to make gravel, take that gravel, and sift it through. Wait, shoot. I might be missing a part. How are you supposed to do... No. Take that gravel, smash it down again to make clay. I believe it goes cobblestone, gravel, clay, and then sand. I think that's what it is. I'm trying to remember, because, yeah. I know you need clay, and then you need to regular break the clay to make, like, you know, the clay dust. Combine that with bone meal to make a... Yeah, to make a smelter. Put that down with a torch underneath it, or a fire if you're feeling adventurous. Or, yeah, and then put 4 cobblestone in the smelter that has been cooked in a furnace. You have to cook the smelter to make it work. And then, eventually, that 4 cobblestone turns into 1 lava. Now, how do you get the lava out? Well, if you take gravel, or clay, or sand, and sift it, you can get, components of ores. So you can get, say, like... Yeah. So you can get, say, iron ore. Yeah, iron ore dust. And then you can take 4 iron ore dusts, put them together to make 1 iron ore. 3 of that to... And smelt them all to make, you know, 3 iron ingots. So you can make an iron bucket to take out the lava. Of course, lava is only half of what you need for a cobblestone generator, but you can get a... But you can make a wooden cauldron that you can just sit out, and eventually it will rain and fill up the cauldron with water. So you can just make 2 of those. 1 rainstorm is usually enough to fill that up, and you can use your bucket to make, you know, make a nice infinite source of water. And you can use your water, use your lava, and potentially find a place in your base not made out of wood, say make it out of dirt, to build a cobblestone generator. And that's part 1 of Sky Factory. Of course, I wasn't satisfied with that in my personal playthrough. So... Justine telling me that Sackboy the Great Adventure is for sale. But I already knew that it was. Don't think I'm getting it.
Good morning.
Shoot, I thought she said that... We never agreed on, like, a time to meet.
Good morning.
But I keep thinking the big fancy building's the church. No, the church is way over here. Natalie! Dorothy! Whee! Did that complete the thing?
Simsalabim. Good morning.
Alright, right. I completely lost my train of thought with that supposed walk with Dorothy. What's I going to go all about now? Julia! Drat, I should have taken that request after all. Julia, don't you dare lock yourself away somewhere right now. Julia, where are you? Oh, what? Apparently I'm just good enough friends with her to just go into a place of business whenever I want to. That's neat. I have a feeling Julia's somewhere up here.
Glory.
Brr. My prediction. Location Julia.
Holy hala. Jamilala. Wala.
Havana East End.
Hello. Good afternoon.
I saw you. Why does this particular fetch quest just have Tomba vibes? Sorry, why are you back here? Why are you actually behind the counter? Miss Rune. Hey. Gosh, that's flippin' a bloody expensive meal. Right. Sky Factory. Although we're already, whatever. You know how this is going to go. Sky Factory, fun and stuff and things. So, at least in the earlier Sky Factories, Sky Factory 1 and 2, not too sure about Sky Factory 3 and 4, there's a machine that you could get that would basically act as a cobble generator. Really interesting little device. And of course, you still need the... Okay, you come over here. Alright, of course. You come over here. Haha. See it. It acts like a cobble generator, except you don't have to worry about, say, accidentally turning the lava into obsidian. Because that's kind of a thing that is possible to do, and that lots of Sky Factory players have done by mistake. Of course, you need a few other materials, so you also have to, you know, sieve, or sift, my sifter, whatever, a few extra materials to get everything else you need for it. I think it's like a few more iron, a few more copper, an extra bucket, I think a bit of stone or cobblestone for some stone gears.
Potato.
Um, so yeah, and I have, so in Sky Factory 2, I'm pretty sure it's my Sky Factory 2 save, I made a full-on contraption. Essentially, it just generates cobblestone. So take that, and I put it with... I'm trying to remember all of the machines involved, because I'm pretty sure that they were removed from future Sky Factory versions. So this would have been definitively over 10 years ago, and like multiple computers ago when I made this. Alright. So the idea was that machine makes the cobble, pushes it into another machine that plops it out to sit right in front of itself. So another machine can wield a hammer and just and smash the cobble and turn it into gravel. So then that gravel gets picked up by a hopper and put down into an auto sifter, an auto sieve that can take that and, you know, get the materials from it. And then big fancy, you know, item distribution network, depending on what is gotten from that. Because if it's, you know, more, if it's more pebbles, but then like a deep storage unit. But I think there are 9 different types of ores that you can get from it. Iron, silver, gold, copper, tin, lead, maybe uranium? I don't remember. Aluminum. I think nickel was one. Yeah, there were like 9 different types of ores you could potentially get from that. So I had a row of like 9 different machines all set up, all next to each other, that would, or, you know, multiple machines. So one would take them and craft them into their blocks. Or, no, I think I had it, yeah. The hopper feeds into this crafter machine that takes them and feeds them into their various block forms that then go into 9 more auto placers to automatically place them down, and then 9 more hammering machines that would then crush those. I don't know why, but I had like 3 steps to this, because if you crush an ore block, or ore gravel, or ore sand, you can get more than 4 materials of the stage below it. So yeah, if you take like an iron ore block, hammer that, you might get like 5 iron ore gravel pieces. So you can craft 4 of those into an iron ore gravel and still have extra left over. Crush that, get like 5 iron ore sand pieces. So all in all, you do get extra materials.
Hi. Afternoon.
And yeah, so it's just this giant contraption. No floor or anything below it. No floor, no walls. You literally have to run along the machinery if you want to check it out and you don't have fly mode. And I don't think I built it in fly mode either. I literally just built the things in there. I put in like some scaffolding that I removed or something. So it's all there just over the void. And just the end result is just, you know, 9 extra deep storage units of stuff. And frankly, I really think that Minecraft should bring the deep storage unit into vanilla Minecraft. It's a single block and it holds 1 item in it. Whatever item you want to put in, it holds that item, but it holds an infinite, not infinite, it holds up to 2 billion or so of that 1 item. So if you put, like, say, an iron ingot in there, you can put in, like, 2 billion iron ingots. And I remember in various Sky Factory games, I wanted a full storage system that would have basically every item in the game in deep storage units and just have, like, hallway after hallway after hallway where I could just see all of these deep storage units, put, like, picture frames on them to show, like, what items are in all of them. And then just row upon row upon row of perfectly organized item storages. Have various trash cans, quote unquote, all around the map. Because in, at least, this might not have been a thing until Sky Factory 3. Yeah, I should just do a series of all the different Sky Factory games in order, honestly. Yeah, this might not have been a thing until Sky Factory 3, but you could, I should just do a Let's Play of Sky Factory, that's what I should be doing. Just start at the beginning. Yeah. But that had, teleporter objects. You put, like, object in, and it like, teleports it to another teleporter object. And that's how I was going to do the massive storage. It's just a whole bunch of these teleporters. Yeah, the teleporters right behind all of the deep storage units, so you won't see them in the hallways, but they'll still be there at all times. And I really want to play specifically the first Sky Factory again, because the first Sky Factory was the only one that used Dartcraft. That had, you know, the golden, like, forest trees. Was it Dartcraft? Forgecraft? Forcecraft? Whatever. It had the golden forest trees that you could use to make special, like, potion effect torches. Yeah, it's a torch of, night vision. Nah. So you could make torches of healing. And I had a forge, because Tinker's Construct was in there. And I had about 30 or so iron golems in this decently small forge. 3x3x3 forge, whatever. But I also had like 30 or so torches of healing around, so as the iron golems got burned in the forge, they got healed for more than they were getting burned for. And normally in Tinker's Construct, the forge only fills up enough to, you know, reach the top of the forge, then it stops. But with these iron golems in there, it was definitively filling up way past the top, so it's just a giant pillar of red. Just an absolutely massive pillar of red. No, it's not blood, it's iron. They're iron golems. They're made of iron. And of course, I did something similar in... was it? Underground Block Survival 2, whatever I did. But I kind of completely broke that world because, one, turns out that item storage is not actually needed in that mod pack because of one of the late game mods that are in there that completely removes the need to just store 99% of regular items. And two, I found an item that can break through bedrock. So I decided to make a, was it about 200 by 200 just castle. It's actually looking pretty nice. Again, if I ever do wind up getting to my old computers, I want to just do a little series where I see these various, like, either documents that I've written or game saves that I made. So I want to see my old Sky Factory worlds. I have some interesting memories about some of them. Just spending flipping all day playing Sky Factory, getting just a little bit of advancement at a time. If I ever needed something to just do for days on end, just go play some Sky Factory. What could possibly go wrong?